This is Cinquo the Hobbit, and this is part 9 of my adventures. I've risen to be a level 14 hunter. Aragorn has asked me to talk to his friend Llangollen near Buckland. He had his own little camp across the way.
What can I do for you?
He said Aragorn has sent aid. Nazgul, 4 more were in Buckland. They rode swiftly to the east upon black steeds. I was foolish enough to stand in their way, and they ran me down. I will heal in time, but the riders have left a threat in their wake that must be dealt with. I must ask for your help. In the Black Riders' wake, Crebain have taken roost. They are not the common strain from Dunland, but a breed I have not seen before. Likely these foul creatures keep watch on Buckland and the Shire, or at the very least me, since they have taken to staring at me in the night. While the Creban may see nothing of interest, the fact that the enemy has eyes here is dangerous. If we were to blind those eyes, the enemy would not be so sure in directing its efforts. If you would, dispose of the Crebain that roost near me. Well, I said, all right, just give me a little while, and I'll take down a few. I'm a good enough archer to shoot some birds, even if they are flapping around. That's 3, and now one's coming after me. It's got a head like a vulture. Alright, Llangollen, I've taken down 4. Is that going to be enough?
Greetings.
He said, good, I've slain those foul birds. The enemy will not be nearly as sure in their efforts now. However, he said, he still had need of a further favour. He said, you say that Underhill is with Aragorn. I know of no Underhills. I was sent to watch over a hobbit named Baggins. We must assume that's whom Aragorn spoke of. That he is safe is welcome news, for my fears are somewhat allayed. It was late in the night when I heard the horn call of Buckland. Running to the road, I saw the Nazgul leaving Buckland at a gallop. I tried to stop them, but they ran me down. I feared they'd already found Baggins. The 4 riders passed eastward towards Bree. I received a mail from someone called Flambard Took. The message asked me to go and meet him in Bree at the hunters' camp towards the south end. Because I'd gone up, I got to the maximum possible level of ranged damage increase, and it reduced the induction movement penalty, which means that I'm a bit more free to walk around when I'm lining up a shot. I guess I should mount up. He wants me to investigate Creek Hollow. Creek Hollow's a fenced off part of Buckland. There's the Brandywine Bridge ahead. And here's the turn through Newbury into the rest of Buckland. Kellandine Brandybuck, I know her. She's related to Mary. She wants me to go over to the old forest, or near the old forest, to Farmer Maggot. She was expecting notes from the farmer all about the old forest, and they hadn't arrived yet. So she asked me to cross the river. She says the ferry is being taken away by the bounders in view of the fact that it was the only thing that stopped a black rider getting across and attacking some hobbits. So, I understand this Fredegar Bolger was a close friend of Merry, Pippin, Frodo and Sam, and that they stayed here at this house. He thought I was one of the Black Riders at first, but then he said, I must tell you that I haven't been so frightened in my life. Did they learn anything from me? Well, those riders came busting into the house, but I had already slipped out the back way. Not a thing did they get from me. When the sheriffs came, they made me tell them all about it. Well, a couple of Crevane arrived.
Oh.
We picked off two, but then another two arrived. I guess I should go and see Farmer Maggot now. There's a milestone in Buckland. Could be useful. I don't think I'll be going back to Michel Delving for a while. Celandine was right. There's no ferry here. I shall just have to swim it. Guards will look at me strangely. Most hobbits hate swimming, never learn how. But I can. The Brandywine River's not that wide. But it was over on this side that Frodo and his friends had to jump on it, whereas the Black Rider came to a screeching halt. By the time he rode up to the Brandywine River, they was hidden inside Quick Hollow. This is the Marish. About a furlong is Farmer Maggot's farm.
I've no chuck with strangers.
He said, I sent those on a while ago with my son Rollo, his friend Doderick and Wilmac Brandybuck, one of my farm hands. My son wrote those notes because so few other hobbits around here know the forest at all. He probably stopped at the inn. I handed them to Wilmac Brandybuck, or rather I inquired about them. He said, Farmer Maggot sent you. Just what I needed on top of all that's happened. He asked me to do yet another favour, but I didn't have time just then. Then went back to Langland. When he heard it was about the enemy's ring, he said, it's no wonder Aragorn was so secretive as to why the enemy was seeking Baggins. If the Crebain heard Fredegar's words, the enemy will know for certain that the ring is no longer in the Shire, and all will be lost. Finding those birds in the old forest will not be a simple task. So, he thinks Strider will ask me to go into this old forest. I know it's a spooky place, but my trusty bow and arrow should get me through, so I won't say no. Here's Strider's room.
You bring dire news.
If we can give an impression of Strider's voice, this is dire news. While the 4 hobbits I was awaiting are safe for the moment, the protection Bree offers is fleeting at best. We must leave soon, and if the enemy's suspicions were confirmed by these Crebain, that's what they seek is no longer in the Shire, our trip may be all the more perilous. Yet the old forest is a twisting labyrinth that can lead even the most experienced tracker astray. Finding these Crebain will not be easy. He offered me a choice of a couple of armbands. Somewhere in the old forest is a person called Tom Bombadil. Strange little chap apparently, but he wants me to find Tom Bombadil's home in the middle of the old forest. I had a sense of destiny, giving me the ability to gain experience more quickly. I thought that before I moved on to the old forest, I'd go and see this Flambard Took, because that letter from him, it sounded like I was going to be able to rise as a hunter if I went and did what he wanted me to do. I saw a ghost around that way. Wasn't seem to be paying attention to folks. Perhaps he doesn't know he's dead. Flambard Took.
How do you do?
I showed him the letter that he'd sent me to identify who I was. So he was pleased to see me and was talking about my chosen path. He offered me a chance to become known as Swift Arrow, which is quite a feather in a hunter's cap. We should go and see Githa, a hunter of no small skill, and though she has little patience for the undeserving, apparently if she felt I'm worthy of the instruction, she would teach me. And she was out at Adzlo's camp, halfway towards Buckland. Yet that ghost, I was a little wary of him, but he came right close and wasn't interested in me, which was quite a relief, I can tell you. I just wanted to shout at him, "Go towards the light."
Greetings.
Here's the stable master at Southbury. We took the intra-city shuttle over to the Westbury stable. This will take me either to Buckland or to Adzo's camp, which is as far as I needed to go. Had a quick word with Adzo.
Might I have a word with you?
He wanted me to fetch a satchel. And he mentioned Bill Fernie. Now, Bill Fernie's a bit notorious. He'll do anything for a sack of gold. Some say he has Southron blood. He's a grim sort of fella, but I agreed. Adzo told me Bill said he'll only be there at night, so don't waste time hanging around during the day to catch a glimpse of him. Just knock on the door or ring the bell and hand over the satchel. Hear me? Bringing money to Bill Fernie. I'm not too sure this is all on the up and up, but I'll do what Adzo wants. He's an old friend. I think he's my third cousin twice removed out here at Breland. Right, ringing the doorbell, and here's Bill. They'll do my business with him as fast as possible. Ha! Soon Sharky's men will have all the Bree well in hand. With cowards like that little worm Adzo under heel, there's no question of that. You just tell Adzo the deal is concluded.
What do you need?
Another payment? That was supposed to be the last, said Adzo. I'll be driven to ruin that rotten. Yes. All right, Adzo. I knew it wouldn't work out well doing business with a man like that.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Apparently there's a lot of brigands about. Adzo said he doesn't know what to do. Brigands told him to pay them three equal payments, and they would spare his workers and himself. But obviously they don't keep their word. You start paying protection money, they're going to be at you all the time for it.
Would you do something for
But
me?
shooting a few brigands is really something I've already managed in the past. Just recently.
Stay and hear
Roger
me out.
Hawking wants some boars. Wants me to bring their heads. Doesn't he know that the rest of the boar's carcass is the best thing? Well, maybe I'll chop that up for me myself.